What does it mean for you to hold tight to God? How has spiritual persistence blessed you? Welcoming you all to today's devotional brought to you from our Daily Bread Ministries, entitled Hold On to God, written and read by Patricia Raybon. Open your Bible and turn to the book of Genesis chapter 32 verses 22 through 28. This particular passage is entitled, Jacob Wrestles with God. Jacob wrestling with God symbolizes a profound personal struggle, transformation, and the deepening of Jacob's relationship with the divine, ultimately leading to his new identity as Israel. Let's begin reading from verse 22. That night Jacob got up and took his 2 wives, his 2 female servants and his 11 sons and crossed the ford of the Jabbok. Verse 23. After he had sent them across the stream, he sent over all his possessions. Verse 24. So Jacob was left alone, and a man wrestled with him till daybreak. Verse 25. When the man saw that he could not overpower him, he touched the socket of Jacob's hip so that his hip was wrenched as he wrestled with the man. Verse 26. Then the man said, Let me go, for it is daybreak. But Jacob replied, I will not let you go unless you bless me. Verse 27. The man asked him, What is your name? Jacob, he answered. And finally, the narrative ended in verse 28. Then the man said, Your name will no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because you have struggled with God and with humans and have overcome. Hold On to God, written and read by Patricia Raybon. At our school district's championship wrestling match, children as young as 8 grappled on gym mats, deploying clever holds to wrestle down their opponents and win. An ancient sport, wrestling demands a savvy combination of takedowns, escapes, pins, and other point-winning maneuvers to come out on top. One little 3rd-grade girl, a crowd favorite, was simply faster than all her opponents, using swift moves that seemed to trick her rivals into defeat. Jacob used tricky moves to get the best of his twin brother Esau, wrestling Esau out of his birthright to their father's inheritance, Genesis chapter 25 verse 33, and Life Blessing, chapter 27 verses 27 through 40. But stealing the blessing kept Jacob on the run, forcing him to flee his father's household, depend on his cunning father-in-law, and live in fear of his brother's wrath. Later, he found himself alone, wrestling all night with the man who was God himself. Let me go, the man told Jacob, for it is daybreak, chapter 32 to 26. But Jacob replied, I will not let you go unless you bless me, verse 26. Finally Jacob was seeking a blessing of his own, holding tight to God even until his name was changed to reflect his changed heart. No tricky moves were needed to gain this rich blessing from God, only persistence. Jacob was learning to live in relationship with God. It's a persistent and honest hold, a winning move God will reward. Join me in prayer. As I hold on to you, dear Father, please help me in my spiritual persistence.